frontier. This is Football Daft with Stephen Purden,
midfield dynamo and average actor,
Chris Toll,
target man, suspicious character,
and
With the top end of Stevenson, Grado!
Welcome to Football Daft, the daftest Scottish football podcast around. My name's Stephen Purden, aka Shellsuit Bob, and let's welcome your starting lineup. First, a man who's thinking about getting into songwriting after composing a new song for last week's guest, Mixu Patalainen. It's Grado, the big Mixu. Was that
it? Big Mixu.
I can't wait to see the Hong Kong fans doing that at the first international back.
That'd be great.
All the Hong Kong fans sitting there, man, in the middle, it's just me, Chris and Grado and John. What a night out that'd be, man. And next up, a man who continues to improve his culinary skills in lockdown as this week he's made burgers with cheese right in the middle in a burger. That was impressive. It's Chris Toll.
All you do is just get two burgers, right? You just put 4 blocks of cheese in the middle and then you mould the 2 burgers together. And
Is it like Daily Ree or is it like...
No, it's American cheese, see, like slices.
But hold on, I tried to get American slices once and all I could get was Daily Ree all the time. There was never like American cheese.
Aye, it's not called American cheese here, it's just called Kraft cheese slices.
Right, okay.
Mate, do you know what?
The best of that.
American cheese.
I can honestly see, like, Philip Schofield and Holly Willoughby on this morning going, and let's go over to Chris Toll and see what he's cooked up this morning. I can see it, mate.
Aye, and all you can see is the top of my head behind the counter.
Yeah, wow, that is a minted idea, man. You should be doing that too. A YouTube.
Well, it's funny you should say that. Anyway, right.
Let's
be
that's what the business meetings were about,
What about Hangme? What about the...
I did it. No.
I can't talk about it yet. I can't talk about it yet.
What's happening in your cooking show?
I can't talk about it yet. That's what I'm saying, honestly. I can't talk. By the way, I'm not even telling you shit here. I can't. I'll talk to you about it in the group chat, but I can't say it on the show.
Is this Tam Spraggan's Cooks?
He wishes. No chance, man. The BBC only seen a penny off of me.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first on exclusive. Chris Toll will be coming to your screens with Chrissy's lunches.
Lunches.
Big
tatties and all that.
Toll's tatties.
Oh, wait a minute, Stevie.
Hey.
Could I pick something else there, mate?
I know, sorry mate. Right, you're right, let's talk about football. Right, so, football, what's happening, troops? What have you been up to anyway? What's happening? Come on. Reconstruction.
Reconstruction. I'll tell you who I seen yesterday.
What?
Brendan Rodgers.
Oh, the Celtic legend.
Yeah, it was...
What?
Well, that's the thing. I was like, I seen a couple of Celtic fans kind of crowding around about him, and they didn't have the best of words to say about him. And you forget that, but as a Rangers fan, you're like that.
Well, they weren't giving him abuse, were they?
They weren't giving him abuse, but it was like under a fucking snake. Do you know what I mean? That kind of idea. And I thought they would have been buzzing to see him, but because I didn't know how much that's affected Celtic fans.
Come on, man.
That's a sour taste in the mouth, isn't it?
You know what? There's people say that you remember where you were when JFK got killed. I remember where I was when I found out Brendan Rodgers had left Celtic. And I tell you what, it was right. Remember he done a fucking midnight flitting, the fucker. Never mind him, man. Anyway, he's always going to be part of Celtic's history, but he's going to be remembered about as fondly as fucking Mo Johnson. End of story.
You're joking, man. It's not as bad as that.
I think maybe in the future,
raging
mate, he's like that. When he's unveiled, I'm here for 10 in a row and all that. He fucks off. Fuck him, man. He said all the sound bites that he used when he came to Celtic, he was proven to have lied about Danny McGrain, right? And all the sound bites that he said about Celtic, he said the exact same fucking shite when he went down to Leicester. Right? Do you know, he's a charlatan. He's a fantastic football manager, but I wouldn't trust the prick as far as I could fucking throw him.
Christ, I should never bother telling you.
Do you know what? Grado's only kidding on, mate. He didn't even bump into him yesterday, man.
Oh, yeah.
No, I did meet him, but I tell you what, small in stature. He's small. He's not a big guy. He's not a big boy. No, he's kind of, you know what I mean?
What do you say, Grado?
He's no used to me, but he's just no.
Grado, what did you say to Brendan?
No, do you know what? I've met Brendan Rodgers before, so I have a charity to do and things like that.
Oh, wow. Great Scott Awards, I met him.
Is that what it was? I think I was with you then, was it not?
Aye.
But, you know, it was that kind of, you know, well, how you doing, mate? You know what I mean? And he's like, who's this Dafty? So I just kind of, we both made eye contact and then I pure looked away as if I never knew who he was. Or, do you know what I mean? I didn't want to, it was awkward. It wasn't awkward, but I didn't.
Hope you checked your fucking pockets after you left them.
It was with the juice again, like, with the big juice of cola. Big cola.
Mate, you know that's when I'm angry. It's fucking down.
Need to help the big can of fizzy juice. That raging, I want the can of juice.
Mate, I don't know what they sell as cans up in the fucking. Quite clearly a bottle, Graham.
Aye, but I mean, aye.
Right, so reconstruction saga.
Reconstruction sagas came to an end, right? It's done. Hearts and Thistle relegated. It's done. So, Grado, are you happy about that? We don't need to keep talking about it.
I'm just hoping that is it fucking done, but I've got a feeling it's no. Or is it because see, at the end of the day, right? I mean, I don't want to get into it, right? But surely these lawyers, solicitors, whatever you want to call them, surely they knew this was going to happen.
They thought they had a case. It's went to the court of arbitration. Can it go to any higher courts? Or is that done?
I think, John, am I right in saying it could?
I think it could go to the European Sport of Arbitration. I think it's done though. I mean, I think that's it.
But see if they take this case to another court and they lose again, you could be looking at both of the clubs going to the wall with the fucking legal fees. You know what I mean?
That's why I thought, surely if they're going to go for legal help, you know, they need to know. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, fuck them. Doesn't matter. That's it.
Gary Britton's the chief exec, isn't he, at Thistle?
He knows what he's doing.
He's trained. He's fucking trained in law. He's no daft. He'll know if they've lost this, they've lost. That's it. Done. Right, so, Morello's, what do you think? Is he off this week saying he came away to Leo? Reports say the striker agreed terms, which blows my mind. How can the striker agree terms without the club agreeing terms?
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever heard that? You ever heard that player agreeing the terms with the club, the personal terms, without the club agreeing a fee? Have you ever heard of that?
Only if it's a Bosman.
Aye. It's strange, isn't it?
Look, here's the deal, right? Look, if this is going to happen, it needs to happen very, very quickly. Because, you know, I mean, he's no really... Has he kicked the ball since January for us, really?
No.
Europe?
No, but what Rangers player has?
Right, you could argue that, but mere pressure in his head, there's more likely that he's going to lash out and get sent off. Morello's can be replaced, but
he can.
We need somebody in there now.
But then we're looking at Zungu, this guy for the French team, Amiens or something. Amy, I don't know how you pronounce it, but
Amiens, I think it is.
Amiens.
3.5 to 4 million's been reported, and he's on the verge of signing. But we need to sign because this Saturday, I don't know, I was arguing with my pals about it. A couple of my mates are saying, if we've not sold him and he's still in the team, he's still there, you need to play him. But where's his head going to be at?
Mm-hmm. Especially at Peterborough. He's been sent off there more times than he's fucking finished games.
Mm-hmm. That's true. And you know what? I heard last week that when he gets subbed at the Coventry game, he kind of threw his shot down. Aye. So it's getting to him. Listen, see at the end of the day, but he's gave us amazing memories. He's been the first Rangers player in years where I've genuinely went, he's a star. Do you know that? You're like, wow. I mean, see if I was 8-9-year-old, and I'd be greeting hearing that Alfredo Morello's sleeve. That's the kind of player he is. He's one of the kind of. There's a presence about him. He's a great wee fucking. He's a great wee character, wee bull. Do you know what I mean? And it's even but we've had what?
I think wee dick is the phrase you're looking for.
My wee brother's lad too. My wee brother's only 18, right? Well, he's not even 18. He's 18 at the end of this month, end of August. He's like, gutted, man. I just can't believe it. I feel sick. I'm pure. Morello's leaving. I'm like, look, wee boys. See when Gaza gets sold to Middlesbrough halfway through a season and Loudon leaves back to Mirren, right? Look, fuck off. No, I mean, that's when you're feeling pain.
Bob, I can remember, and when the day, I can see it now. Guys are stunning with that Middlesbrough tap with the cell net bit in the middle on Scotland today, and I generally was in tears, man. As a wee boy, that affected.
10 in a row season, everything. It was a 10 in a row season,
that one.
No, Stevie, this is a 10 in a row season, mate. This is a 10 in a row season.
So, the other mob across the road, Celtic, they're looking for a goalie.
Aye, we're only going to 5.5 million. only going to 5.5 million for one.
Is that the guy for Athens? Aye, AK Athens.
See, when we played them a couple of years ago, I think he was in goals, and I think he had an absolute stormer. Don't quote me on it, but whoever was in goals for the Bastards had a stormer that night. If it's this guy, then going by that, he could be a decent signing. But 5.5 million for a goal is a lot of fucking money, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
he's went for that Ivan Toney, didn't he, as well for Peterborough?
Supposedly they had a bid rejected, and the Peterborough manager, is it Barry Fry that's the manager?
I think it is.
He's director of football, I think.
Well, Barry Fry's come out and said that they want 12.5 million for him.
Is it not Fergie? Is it Fergie's boy that's the manager of Peterborough?
Aye, that's Darren. Darren, he's still there.
Whoever it was, I don't know. I've got Barry Fry in my head for some reason. Come out and says that they want 12.5 million for him.
12.5 million?
12.5 million for a Peterborough striker. Know what I mean?
Many strikers just need, man. You've got Edward, Griffiths came on the other day.
I watched
that. Is it the Polish boy? Scored the 2 goals against Hibs?
Aye, Klimala. But did you see his first goal?
No.
Dembele plays a ball through. Griffiths gets the ball, skins 2 defenders, runs through, dinks the ball over the goalie. The ball's going into the net, and Klimala runs in and fucking puts it in. Couldn't he burn his neck with a blowtorch, man?
Hey, any striker would do the same, mate. If you try to go off the mark and get a goal, know what I mean?
I know, but if Lee Griffiths has done that and the shite that he's been through the past couple of weeks, you just let that one go in, don't you?
You let it go, man. Would you think Livingston turning down a bid for Dykes as well for Barnsley? £1 million?
Million quid.
Well, they don't need any money to know after they thought they're going to buy the virtual match, watching it online at £20 they're charging, man. £20 to watch that.
Olivia?
Aye, that's what they're charging.
Olivia charging 20 quid?
£20 apparently per game to watch online.
What?
You just get every Livy fan in a room and pay 20 quid.
Mate, honestly, that's the only thing. My only kind of positive thing I've got to know, looking at Celtic going, the only maybe chance we've got to know, like, you need to replace Fraser Forster. How'd you do that, man? He was so big for you, wasn't he?
Apparently, you go to Athens and spend $5.5 million. I've got a feeling just by this guy's name.
Vasilos Barkas.
Aye, like barking mad. I don't know, but he's just that in my head.
As if he like fucking smokes fags at half time, you know that? Aye, that kind of thing.
When a crossball's coming in and Julian's gone for it, he pure screams at him, Barkas ball!
He's no German, mate. Fucking SS Barkas.
Well, I hope he is a madman. I hope he's fucking get butterflies.
Flings them in. You hope he flings them in. I hope he flings them out. But what about you? You're signing that. You seem to be signing players for Nigeria, and you're in for a player for South Africa. What if there's an African Cup of Nations this year? You're fucked. Half your team will be away.
Oh, man, I don't know. I just want to sign strikers, mate.
We need to get a striker, man. We need to get a striker.
The big centre-half he's have signed for Wigan's a decent player, by the way.
Anthony Stokes is available. He's on his way to East Kilbride, apparently, according to the
What for?
Probably a bag.
Football, apparently. Maybe going to the shops.
Hell, man. Good hairpiece he's got, Stokes.
Aye, he's got the second best hair transplant in Scotland.
Aye.
Aye, behind Chris Boyd.
Oh, hey, behind.
Sorry, mate.
Behind that Damines, it looks, doesn't it, Grado?
Oh, I've seen it, mate. Mate, you look like fucking Vince McMahon or something when it's done. You look amazing.
That's funny.
So, on the show today, we're welcoming a surprise guest for Grado. Who do you think it is, Grado?
Better than a wrestler.
Well,
On a football podcast, Grado.
Aye, but it's just because I've
Mate,
seen
Steve, mate, see if I bring on a wrestler, I'm going to be here today.
What if it was Grant Holt?
You know, actually, a couple of years ago, we were DMing each other to try and sort something, me and Grant Hope, because I know he'd been training with the Knights. He's a great guy. I met him that day that I was at Hibs training ground and I was kind of fanning about with Jason Cummings. He's right into his wrestling, man.
Is Grant Holt a wrestler?
Aye, Grant Holt's a wrestler now, mate.
He's a big laddie, right enough.
Aye, man, he's right. So I spoke to him about getting something arranged, but it never actually came to fruition. You know, he was meant to sign for Rangers loads of times. I know, I always remember that.
Aye.
It could be a double done. I could get him on Football Daft, and then as soon as he's done, just start recording wrestling Daft with him. You could, couldn't you?
That's it, man. Brilliant. But anyway, so
Also on the show, it's Grado's turn on the Legends Lottery. Can't wait to see how that works.
Listen, Troops, I need to kind of go very early today.
Right, I tell you what, hold on a wee minute, right?
An appointment.
Now, Grado, you've not told me who it is, but you've told me the situation, right? I think we can extend the olive branch that we extended to Stephen in this case and let Grado go on to next week.
Aye, because the guy's not replied. I messaged him last night and it's sitting on sent, so he's not even fucking opened it. It's one of the ones where it's like he's tweeting and all that and he's not replied. So he's
No. Hold on.
What?
You sent the message last night. You've had a week to work on it. Chris,
No, John. He said 3 weeks to work on it.
this is
He's
true.
have a turn.
And whose turn is it next week who's backing up Grado here as well?
Oh, John, I've already got mine set up for next
All right,
week, so
okay.
shut your mouth, okay?
Okay, sorry.
Oh, don't talk to John like you.
Don't talk to the producer like that,
I'm
Cole.
backing you up.
All right, aye, fuck off, John.
Oh, you can't talk to the producer like that, mate.
Remember, he cheated us, Stevie. Remember, John cheated us.
Oh, aye.
Listen,
Fuck you, John.
Aye, don't make me be the bad guy here. Fuck you, John.
Right, hold on, wait there then. If John wants to throw me under the bus, right? If John wants to throw me under the bus here, this is what we can play.
I'm not throwing you under the bus.
Sent yesterday morning at 11 a.m.
Actual main guest, but let us know if you've got a Legends Lottery. If you haven't, I've got a number for Crawford Baptie.
Alright, so there you go.
So, do you ever get the voice notes when it's your turn?
No, I certainly don't. But what I will say is,
If anybody wants
Grado failed to get Crawford Baptie on the show before. So I don't know. Is Crawford still available to the show? But I do have a guy lined up for next week, and I told him that he would have been on this week, but Stephen's guest had to postpone for a week. So
Due to a death in the family.
yeah, oh no, I understand. I'm not having a go, but what I'm saying is, easy for me to let Grado go to next week because I've got my guy set up anyway.
Aye, we'll wait. What Toll's saying, right, we can extend your Legends Lottery for a week. There we go. At the start of the show, we've just made it clear that this week there will be no Legends Lottery because it was Grado's turn. Right. But also on the show today, on our big question, we are getting your predictions for the season, as well as the chance for you to win free beer in our first attempt at the Pro Set playoff. Right, so before we go on with the show, we need to tell you about our Fantasy Football League we've set up on the Fantasy Football Scotland app. Grado, you got a team in?
What? What's this for?
Fantasy
Season
Football.
pick a team. Right, I'll date the day.
Right, we've all entered teams apart from Grado in there, and you can take us on. Just download the app and look for our league on the front page. Over 500 people have joined already, so sign up, and at the end of the season we will sort you out with some free at the end of the season.
We should be discussing our teams here, right? But
No.
I kind of feel as though if we discuss our teams, we're giving people an insight into like what they need to do to beat us. So I'd rather keep my team secret.
I agree, Tom. I agree.
Because
And
I would listening to you. I'd listen to you two's and then just and just pick
copy them.
I just copy them.
I
The
know.
only thing I'm going to tell you about my team is they're called the Cheeky Blinders and they're playing a 3-4-3.
My team is called the Sandan City, and they are 4-4-2. No, they're not. They're 3-4-3.
I'm Bairn to win, and I have went 4-4-2.
Oh, old school, John.
Yeah.
You're just refusing to go with the 3 strikers to get extra points. You're sticking to a 4-4-2.
I couldn't afford a decent third striker, that's why.
So he's obviously... I've seen your team anyway. You've obviously went big with Edward, with 8 million on Edward.
I went big on Edward and Shankland, and I've signed Jordan White.
You've went with Shankland and Edward, and then you've just went, what am I going to do here with other fucking...
That's exactly it.
No, what he's done sort by price, lowest to highest.
We've nailed it.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh, but it's a great wee app. It's dead easy to use as well, man.
It's the same as the Premier League, the English one. They've used the same kind of format as that. It's quite cool, man.
We've got about 700 odd people in our league so far. I've went down some of the team names as well. We've got some belters in there so far. I mean, your team names are good, boys, but these are probably better. The Happy World of Arabo.
I love how your geese are called. I mean, boys, your team names are good, but these are probably better.
Yeah. 2 Girls, 1 Schlup, John McFarlane.
Oh.
The Allen Power of Love, Rob Haggerty. And Shakhtar Senseless, which I thought was very good. Craig Bucket.
Shakhtar Senseless.
I love that.
My favourite one was Toasting and Cham. Toasting Cham, that was a belter.
The one that comes up every year, man, is always there. Enter your ma.
Aye.
All the time, man. All the time. Right, troops, so that's it. Fantasy football for the season ahead. Get involved. Over 700 people now, apparently, in a league. Get involved. And remember, if you've got any rumours or you just want to get in touch with the show, get us on Twitter at Football Daft Pod, Football Daft Podcast on Instagram, and just search for Football Daft on Facebook.
Well, we love our sponsors at G4 Claims, and once again, it's time to thank them for their support. Now, before we learn about G4 Claims, right, I need to tell you. Well, I'm going to tell you about it, right? Because I'll tell you right here now, traffic accidents are vitally important that you get it sorted with the insurance company. That's why I'm telling you that if you've been involved in a road traffic accident and you're not at fault, then G4 Claims can make it easy for you. They can provide you with a complete accident management support you require. They're going to recover their costs from the at-fault party, and they'll sort you out with a motor that's very much like your own, a like-for-like vehicle replacement. They're also going to organise your vehicle to be repaired at one of their approved body shops, and it's going to be returned to you. Should your vehicle deemed to be a write-off, they will recover the pre-accident value for your car and write you a big fat cheque. And best of all, it will not cost you a penny, as they charge, as I say, the at-fault insurance direct. G4 Claims don't cold call, they don't buy data, but once they've processed your claim, your insurance will remain unscathed, and that's a great bit of business getting that sorted out with G4 Claims. And the best thing is, Nicole and the team over there, they will only take your case on if you don't think they can help. So, if you've been in a road traffic accident, or you know somebody that recently has, get on to G4 Claims. 01698 767 172. 01698 767 172. Get them at notatfaultclaim.com. That's the website, notatfaultclaim.com. Or you can find them on social media at G4 Claims. G4 Claims, not at fault claims.
Made easy.
Football Daft's big question.
Right, troops, the Premiership season kicks off this weekend, so it's time to lay down your predictions and have ridiculous bets with your mates. So this week, we wanted to know who is winning the league and who is going down this season. Grado, who's winning the league and who's going down?
Right, I hate touching these things because you and Cameron, previous presenter of the show, this time last year.
Who?
Aye, right, well, he gave it fucking mega. This is, you know,
Aye.
Even
Celtic will not do 9 in a row and all that stuff. And
I'm saying here right now, and this will go viral, that Rangers are going to win it. Rangers are going to do it. And I'm sitting there going, yeah, for fuck's sake. And he done it on Clyde. He done it everywhere, man. Who the heck?
Who's going to win the league and who's going down?
Look at me, pure gone our way about it, so I don't need to answer it.
I know. I see you're doing, you fly fucker. Answer the question, Graham. Who's going to win the league and who's going down?
Right. Who's going down? Who's going down? I am going to say this year, I think Hamilton will go down.
Who's going to win the league?
I'll tell you what I think. I think this year it's going to be a toss-up between Rangers or Celtic. I'll tell you that for one.
Away, you cop-out bastard.
Do you know what? I just don't know. It's just that. It's the roughest season ever. I just think whoever's get the right tools in the box, whoever's get. I just think it's going to be close. It's going to be close. Whatever it's going to be.
You wanted to be finished soon. Go on, hurry up and answer the question.
Fucking hell. So what are you thinking about it anyway? What are you thinking?
Right, I tell you what, right. Obviously, Grado doesn't want to say what he actually thinks, right? So here's what I think.
I honestly don't know.
Every single year, everybody writes off Hamilton Ackies. Right?
It's a go-to, isn't it?
Right, I'm not writing off Hamilton Ackies. Right, I think
I was just like Hamilton.
I think it'll be a surprise what goes down. To be honest with you, like the last few years, it's been you've seen it coming with Hearts, right? But I think it could be a team that you wouldn't expect. See, like maybe a Motherwell or something like that. A team that you don't expect. No, not Motherwell particularly. I just think that this whole thing's evened it out quite a lot. You know what I mean? There's teams that have brought in players that they maybe wouldn't have had the chance to bring in, and the teams below the top 3 or 4 are all going to be pretty much even on an even keel, I think. So I think anybody could go down, but I think Celtic will win the league.
I think, see if you look at the actual table as it stands right now, right? No, hear me out.
Aberdeen are top.
No, but the bottom 3 are Ross County, St Johnstone, St Mirren. So take that for what you will.
What, alphabetical order?
Just saying now, I'm looking at that table, and that, apart from the upper hot, that could be, if things still stand.
Right, so it's Ross County, St Mirren, and who?
And St Mirren, and St Johnstone, and St Mirren, innit?
Who's the bottom 4, Grado?
Rangers.
Take for that what you will, boys. Take for that what you will.
Who you think?
I'm going to say we need to stop the 10. We need to win the league. Had a good pre-season. I'm going to say Rangers will win the league, and I'm going to say St Johnstone will go down.
Johnstone, that's who I was thinking, Stevie. Mm-hmm. Seriously, that's who I was thinking.
Aye. I think Tommy Wright's been there that long.
And plus, he's going to Ibrox, mind.
But he's not there anymore. I think they were struggling towards the end of Tommy Wright's time there. I just think, I don't know, I think they're going to go down. I've got a feeling. I just think they're going down. But Grado, who do you think's going to win the league?
I'll tell you who I'm more interested in finding out. John.
What?
I bet you I'd like to know John, a neutral here. How does he think?
Right, well, I think Livingston might go down this season. I just think if Lyndon Dykes goes, they've got the plastic pitch, but I just think they don't have the squad.
Their defence is solid, mate. Their defence is fucking solid. And it's genuinely, that's one of the teams that I hate playing the most.
Yeah,
is Livingston.
Gary Holt has got them playing. I don't know why I don't fancy them this season. I think they will come down. But in terms of winning the league, I just think with Morello going, I just think Celtic have too much firepower. I think Rangers defensively are looking a lot better, but I just think Celtic have too much firepower in there to,
Right.
What it's going to hinge on for me is if Rangers don't replace Morelos with a player that's going to bring the goals that Morelos brought, because you're not going to get 36 games out of Jermaine Defoe. Oh. Right? He's injured as it is. Do you know what I mean? And
Here's a wee startling fact for you. How many league goals do you think Morello scored last season?
12.
Right. Who got more than him in the league and for Rangers?
Jermaine Defoe.
I didn't even know that.
No, but my point still stands.
Your point does stand about Defoe, but I'm just saying Rangers will surely sign another striker who can score more than 12 goals in the league.
Well, that's true. I never thought it that way, aye.
Yeah.
But that was in 4 games.
Right, so let's get some listeners. Andrew Blake said Rangers to win, Hamilton to go down. Rangers are strengthening well and linked with quality players. Had a brilliant pre-season. Well,
there you go. That's buying into this pre-season.
I know. My father was saying that. I'm saying to my father in his taxi. I'm going like that. Well, looking good, but in these pre-season friendlies, going. It's the same every fucking year with the friend, and it is. It's true.
Aye, that is, man.
Celtic are always dreadful pre-season.
Hugh Harvey said Celtic will win the league easily. Hamilton will go down. I say that every year. Got to be right at some point. It's true, but you always think Hamilton are going down, don't you, man?
Aye.
Gordon Silvestro, I'm going to be optimistic and say Rangers to win the league, St Mirren to go down. David Toy says, I'd say Celtic to win the SPFL, but only because Rangers will too tired after their run to the Champions League final.
Maybe in the Champions League first, David, YouTube.
No, it could still be if they won the Europa League. Chris, don't discount that.
Ah, you shut up, you two.
Fuck, I forgot. Rangers are still in it.
Right.
What's happening with that then?
It's getting played next week, 2 weeks. The return legs in 2 weeks. The return legs the Thursday after we go to Peterborough, is it no?
Right,
Listen.
so is that if Rangers manage to turn over the 3-1 deficit, right, do they then go into that wee tournament that's going to be on the telly?
Yes.
That'd be quite exciting, wouldn't it, man?
Oh, aye.
I'll tell you what, when we went into this lockdown shite, you know, I'm thinking this game in Germany, I think no chance, but I don't know, I've just got a bit of buzz now about this second leg.
Mate, it's like I say, man, I wouldn't be surprised if we went there and won. I don't know if we could win that much to go through the tie, but I wouldn't be surprised if we went earlier and actually got a result, do you know what I mean? Like, beat them. But this game...
By the way, you only need to beat them 2-0, don't you?
No,
you don't. Fuck it. No, you don't. You need to score 3.
I would need to score 3 anyway.
I just hope that... I also just hope that Rangers take a close... Really think about what they do in the January break. Do we really need to be going up? They were Rangers are well in the league, and fuck it.
Right, Jamie McMillan, with the transfer window open until October, it's impossible to make a prediction as to who will win it yet. However, I'll go with Hamilton down, and I think St Mirren will be a surprise package, possibly top 6. David Blue, what a surname. Rangers are doing it this season and Ross County are going down. John O'Neill says the team with the most points and the team with the least points, unless we have a pandemic, then Celtic.
Could you imagine if David Blue come on and said Celtic and John O'Neill come on and said Rangers?
It's 2020. What's John O'Neill talking about? Celtic were the team with the most points. And that was because of a pandemic, Celtic won the league. But they still had the most points. So, John, get back in your box, son. All right?
John McFarlane says Celtic for the 10 in a row. Very happy with the signing so far, but it will be tight. St Johnstone to get relegated. The loss of Tommy Wright as manager.
Hold on a second. Wait a minute. I need to dig him at all. Very happy with the signing so far. We've not fucking signed anybody. We've got El back on loan. We've not signed anybody. What are you talking about, John McFarlane? Come on.
Right, you need to get in touch with John. You need to get in touch with the 2 Johns too. Right? Graham Renton said Celtic will win it by Christmas as it's a horrible 1-horse race. St Mirren to get relegated, hopefully. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, Graham. Right? And Blair Mulgrew says, I think St Mirren are going to win it. I honestly do. We have a team of leaders. Our defence is easily the best in the division. Obika has been working during the break. I think this is his year and ours. Jim has us playing an extremely exciting brand of footy, I think. Well,
I think so too.
Could do a Leicester.
But listen, again, Blair, we wanted to know who's going down.
Aye, he's got really excited about St Mirren winning the league, man.
I'm I'm starting to feel like Simon Cowell here.
Right, Patreon is great, right? I've got it. Wrestling Daft has got it. It's basically a service where you can get added content, right? And because it's the start of the new season, and we're trying to coincide with that, we've decided to launch our very own Patreon service, Football Daft. So, as I say, if you don't know what it is, it's a subscription service that you sign up to. But not only are you supporting the podcast in that, you're going to get plenty of content, right? There's a freeze, and we are going to be submitting content. We've got 3 tiers that you can choose from, right? Tier 1 is a £5 a month, right? And that's going to be called the League One tier. And when you sign up to that, £5 a month, you get early access to the episodes. You get an ad-free version. You get a patron-only chat community, so you can leave comments and chat with other people that are watching the podcast. You can get a full video version, but don't worry, you'll still be able to get the interviews that we do on YouTube. But for the full video version, you'll need to get signed up. That's a full version, right? There's going to be random bonus content because there's plenty of that every week that we're always having to chop and take out and whatever. But you're also going to get a chance to become a pundit on one of our brand new podcasts, which you'll find about soon. That's going to be in Tier 1. Let me tell you about Tier 2. This is £7.50 a month, and it's the Championship, and you'll get everything for Tier 1 plus some brand new podcast phase. We're going to be having the Rangers Daft podcast. It's going to be a brand new look at Rangers, a brand new podcast that me and Bob are going to be doing to give a more in-depth look at Rangers, looking back at their games, big talking points for the weeks. Going to be previewing upcoming fixtures, but we'll also get you to be looking. We also want Rangers fans to get involved in it and become a guest pundit every week and have a wee blatherways about the Rangers games on the Celtic Daft podcast. Unfortunately, me and Bob will not be available for that programme. It's going to be available, and it's the same if you're of the Celtic persuasion. You're going to be finding out what's been happening through the week, reviewing games, other bits and bobs and other kind of goss that's been happening. And again, you're going to get a chance to be on a guest pundit if you're part of the Patreon service. We've also got teammates. Basically, that's each week. We've also got teammates. That's each week guest talk about their teammates and a feature. And we've honestly not just ripped off Soccer AM. We've got Football Daft outtakes, so you can see some of the outtakes for the show. And you'll get everything. Plus, you'll also, again, get the chance to be a guest pundit on either the Rangers or Celtic Daft podcasts. And you'll obviously, again, get everything in the previous tiers. Right, Tier 3, that's for exclusive club. Only available to 100 members, and that's a £10 a month. That's the premiership tier. So you'll get the first chance to be the guest pundits on any of our new podcasts. You also got a free Football Daft podcast shirt. You must be signed up for a minimum of 4 months for that, by the way. You play Bob or Chris at FIFA. That must be on PS4. They don't actually know this, but I've got an Xbox if you want to play me at FIFA. But I'm up for playing it actually because I'm shite at FIFA. And it's in fact, I don't even play my Xbox, so fuck that. But you also get the first chance, as I say, to become a pundit on Rangers or Celtic Daft. We're going to be adding more stuff to these tiers as the season progresses, but we'll have to start somewhere. So if you fancy any exclusive content, talking with other fans, getting the chance to be on the shows, sign up at patreon.com/Football Daft. Patreon, Patreon.com, and Football Daft is all the one word. Get involved now, as we would love to get involved now, as we'd like to welcome you to the squad.
So it's now time to try and give away a case of Beer 52, and we're doing it a wee bit differently this week. And we've played this game in the studio the last couple of weeks. It's basically the Pro Set playoff. I've got a bunch of Pro Set cards from the 91-92 season in my hand, and I want you to guess the player from the cards. Now, we've got whoever gets first to two will win the beer. And we've got a listener on to play with us today, boys. So it's David Emery, who's a Hibs supporter.
How you doing, my man?
Not bad, lads. Yourself?
Good, mate.
Good, mate. It's good to see you. Do you listen to the show every week?
Almost every week, mate. I try to.
What's your favourite Chris Toll bit?
You need to answer that.
We all know what that bit is.
The prize Grado's still got a jaw left on him.
Yes, come on.
Boys, the rules are really simple. I'm going to read the description of the footballer from the card, and you have to guess who it is by buzzing in when you know the answer. If you do buzz in, however, and you get it wrong, you're out of the game, okay? And the other person gets to guess who it is, all right? First to two wins, okay? David, I would say you can pick who you want to play, but you'll just pick Grado. So we're going to draw the names out of a hat here, and we're going to find out who you're playing. So pray for Grado. Right.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay, here we go. Who you getting? It is Stephen.
Oh, this will be good, man.
Oh, right.
Right, so
All the best, David, my man, all the best.
I'm nervous for you, bro.
David, you need to give us your buzzer. What's your buzzer going to be?
Hibs.
Hibs. Right, okay. Stephen, what's your buzzer?
Rangers.
Oh,
Right,
venue, Handon Park.
No.
Fighting talk.
Oh, man.
Worst day of my life, man. Worst day of my life.
Right, so let's start the game then, boys. I'll read it from the card. Just buzz in when you think you know the answer. But remember, if you buzz in, you can't come back in. First to 2 wins. Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Go for it.
Oh, this one could be in your favour here, David. This player started his career with Hibs, where he won Scotland Under-21 honours. After 5 years at Easter Road, he joined Nottingham Forest in 1985 for $195,000. Out of Brian Clough's plans towards the end of his time at the City Ground, a fee of $65,000 brought the cultured left-sided player back to Scotland in 1991 with Falkirk. Well, turn the card over, see if you can guess who it is, since none of you buzzed in.
Aye, go for it.
Who's that?
Oh. Gareth Evans.
Boys, Rangers.
Stephen.
Kevin McAllister.
Ken McAllister.
It's no, mate. It's no.
It's the current Hamilton manager, Brian Rice.
Ricey.
Aye.
I thought it looked like Kevin McAllister.
No, I don't like him.
The only player you know, Stephen. Right, okay. Next player. First to 2 wins. This player made his league debut for the Terrors in 1981 and quickly established himself as a high-quality left-back. He won international honours at schools, youth under-21 and full levels, and was a member of Scotland's World Cup squad in 1990. Consistency is the hallmark of his game. He was never present last season, playing all 36 games. Scotland international centre-half, plays for Dundee United.
Rangers.
Stephen.
Scotland, Dundee. Morris Malpass.
Morris Malpass it is.
Well done, Bob.
1 point to Stephen. Come on.
Come on, David boy.
Right, okay, next card. This player is now enjoying his second spell at Celtic since making his league bow in 1980. After 3 seasons, he left to join Arsenal and spent 5 years...
Rangers!
Hibs.
Go, David.
Charlie Nicholas.
Charlie Nicholas it is.
I can't buzzed in before him, John.
Oh, you never.
No chance. No chance.
Right, here's the decider then, boys. Next player. This player joined Aberdeen straight from school, making his debut for the Dons in 1984. In 1987, Celtic paid $650,000 for his services, and he's now been at the club for 5 seasons. He was second top scorer last season with 8 league goals. The high spot of his career to date was scoring the winning goal in the 1989 Cup final against Rangers. Capped at schools, youth and under-21 levels for his country. Who is that?
Rangers!
Hibs.
Stephen was in first. Sorry, David. Who is it, Stephen?
Joe Miller.
Joe Miller. It's Joe Miller.
Done, Bob.
Oh, lucky David.
That's what I was going for, I know.
Listen, thank you very much for coming on and playing.
No worries. Cheers.
Hey, you got the best,
How do you
mate.
think Hibs will go on this season, David?
Got to go for third there. Got to go for the best of the rest, to be honest.
Aye.
You look at on paper.
No Hearts.
Oh,
week.
Aye, well, we'll leave that one for another day. On paper, they've probably got the strongest squad outside Celtic and Rangers, but it just depends whether they can actually take it on the pitch.
David, I watched the game the other day, the Celtic and Hibs game, and that boy Doig that you've got, not Doig, Doig, he scored a cracker and he had a fucking good game as well, by the way.
Seen that they're talking about a natural replacement though, because we've got wee Louis Stevenson, and he's a 33-year-old now, so
Aye.
he's a natural kind of replacement just to fit in.
You know what I liked about him? He's no fear to have a shot, and
Aye, that's it.
the keeper had to make a few saves for him for distance as well.
He'll get forward as well, like I say. You know what I mean? He's no one that's he kens what he's doing. Do you know what I mean? He had a few games in pre-season last season as well, and he was all right there as well.
I want to ask a Hibs fan about how you feel about Canberra. Come on.
I think if I was in the situation, I got asked to go to the Old Firm. It's, not every day you get asked to go to like Celtic and Rangers are massive. Do you know what I mean? And if you pass up that opportunity once, it might never come round again.
Do you think it's maybe like if he stays with Hibs for this season, it's maybe a bonus that there's no crowd there to go on his back and he's got time to prove himself. So by the time the crowds get back in, he's back to being, a fan favourite again.
Aye, that's it. I mean, if you look at guys that went to Rangers and that, like Stephen Whittaker and everything, they didn't issue like any comments or anything like that after they left. So when Stephen Whittaker did come back to Hibs, and Kevin Thompson, when he did come back to Hibs, and Ian Murray as well, there was nothing nobody was on their back. But obviously with the comments Canberra made, I think they've been taken out of context a wee bit. But it's still then, you should never say, it's been my dream and blah, blah, I've always wanted to do this. And there's ways and means to go about it.
Aye.
Listen, see the first one that he puts into the top corner, everything will be forgotten.
Exactly.
Cheers, David, mate. Thanks a lot
cheers,
for
lads.
listening, mate. Thanks for coming on, bud.
Thank you, pal.
So there you go. First shot of the pro set off playoff. Did you like that, boys? That work?
Good fun.
Good
There
laugh.
we go. Stevie's 8 beers up.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. So if you want,
give the beers to the listener. Give them to the
Aye,
listener.
give the beers to the
I
listener.
didn't like that, Stevie. Take the beer.
Find out his address. That he's a plenty of
No, do you want to know what? Save the beers up and see the first person to beat us, they get all the beers.
Oh, it's a rollover to next week.
Oh, that's a good shout. A beer 52 rollover.
There's a beer
Aye.
52 rollover. If you want to win 2 crates of beer 52 next week, get involved. Sign up to tweet us at Football Daft Pod, or get on to us on Facebook. Send us a DM. Winners must be over 18 and stay in the UK. Remember, Beer 52 is a monthly subscription service for beer, which is sourced from great small batch breweries across the world. And you can get beer right now for just the price of the postage and packaging. So $4.95 for your carry-out for the start of the season this week. Beer52.com/daft. Head there, get a carry-out for the games this weekend, and go there right now. Beer52.com/daft.
Now let's introduce a legendary figure from the Scottish game. Talking of legends, he has done impressions of them all. Alex Ferguson, Graham Souness, Kenny Dalglish, and of course, Frank McAvenny. He is the star of Only an Excuse and Grado's co-star in Two Doors Down. It is Jonathan Watson.
That's a beauty, I guess, man. Superb.
Hey, you.
Oh, hello there. Hello there, Johnny boy.
How are you?
They've kept this as a surprise for me, man. I'm delighted. By the way, Johnny, I love that Hingway. I love that. I worked in the shipyards. I love that.
Fibers,
yeah. Much.
Superb.
It was good to do. I better say hello to Chris. I've never met you, I don't think, Chris. How you doing?
How you doing, Johnny? It's a pleasure to meet you, mate. I've been a big fan for years and years and years, man.
Oh,
this is quite surreal for me, to be honest with you.
Listen, ditto, so don't worry about it. John, nice to meet you. Hello.
Lovely to meet you, Jonathan. Lovely to meet
And
you.
of course, Graham.
How you doing? Oh, mate, honestly, see how you're saying, Chris? I mean, every day. We'll start talking because I want to say about how every day I'm on set with him wanting to do impressions and all that. I don't leave him alone. I don't give him. I do not.
I'll tell you what he does. We do these scenes that are about 8 to 10 pages long, right? And so there's, it's like staying a lot of pressure, right? And a lot of the time, I've got a bit of the dialogue, right? So we're about to go, and I'm usually sat beside him on the couch. So we'll be getting ready to go, and there'll be the costume makeup checks and camera turn over. I'm just about to shout action. He'll nudge me and I'll go, "Hey, Graham Souness." And you're like, "Chris, stop."
You've got to put your finger in your ear when you're doing it. Can I just say something here?
It was a cotton bud.
It's a cotton bud, so it was, but I've not got one. I've only got a pinky on me.
Do you know years and years ago when he just arrived at Rangers and he came out for his interview with Archie McPherson, and it was a cotton bud he had, and he was If I can just here.
See, Johnny, he is your hero, isn't he? Is he your mega hero?
He's one of my favourite players. He certainly is that, and even before he was, he came to Ibrox. I was lucky enough. Just after I left drama college, one of my mates had just finished doing engineering at Glasgow, and he got a job in Lancaster. And we went down a few times to pick him up and then carry on and go to Liverpool for the weekend. And we would get tickets for a game. So about 3 or 4 times I saw, it was around about the time that Ken Dalglish was going for his 300th league goal. And although we went about 3 games, we missed them scoring it. But we saw Liverpool play at a time when they were winning European Cups, and everything went through Souness. And you wouldn't believe, as soon as the game kicked off, the pressure that the visiting team was put under was unbelievable. And he controlled everything. He was fantastic. Brilliant. There you go.
Aye. I know. What I always like to tell folk is that I'm named after Graham Souness because the year that he became manager, it was the year I was born, and a lot of folk obviously spell the name Graham, but mine's is Graeme. But, I'm off for years. You're no named after Graham Souness. You never were. I just like to name it at the time, but quite a lot of time I just like to tell folk I'm named after Graham Souness.
You've just made me feel ancient, because 1986 is the year we started filming City Lights.
Oh, City Lights, man.
Why?
How did the City Lights?
See, I loved City Lights, but do you know what I sometimes find myself doing, right? When I get a wee drink and I start going on YouTube, I love playing the theme music. See the theme song, the opening title? I love it.
Really? No, that's naked. That's naked video.
Naked video.
Name hang.
Johnny, that's showbiz, mate.
Showbiz.
Johnny, how did you find out you were good at impressions? How did it all come about?
I don't. I think you find that a lot of actors, because you're listening to voices and stuff like that. I think everybody's got an impression in them, and it was mainly because I got many years ago. I was part of the Naked Radio team, which was before Naked Video, and in that you were given loads of different voices to do and stuff like that, and it came out of that. But when I was at school, I used to impersonate the teachers and stuff like that, and things like that.
You're a child star, aren't you? You're a TV.
I don't know if I'm actually.
Aye, were you on like a Tunnocks tea cakes commercial or something when you were 6-year-old or something?
No, that predated the child stardom thing that you're talking about. My dad did the advertising for Tunnocks, and they had the Tunnocks account, and the photograph that you see of the wee kid in the packaging, right? That was taken actually in the year that I was born, which was 1956. And about 4 or 5 years later, when I kind of looked like that, somebody in the office said, if we're looking for a kid just to sort of sit beside the van and pull out a biscuit, you or Jonathan would do. So I went in one Saturday morning and got my photograph taken. But they were used for adverts at the time. So that's how that happened.
So did you get paid in tea cakes?
Yes.
So who's your favourite impression to do?
Well, it changes, to be honest with you. It changes when we do the programme. It depends what jokes are available, I suppose. But I enjoy doing Souness. I enjoy doing Dennis Law, and if the teeth still fit me, Frank McAvenny. And
my favourite's Alex Ferguson.
I love
Fergie, man. Amazing.
Well, I've been very fortunate enough to have met him. I've done a couple of charity things for him, and he always says, "You can't do me. you can't do me."
It's fucking dead on.
He thinks gigs is better than me. So
It's uncanny.
I know, it's ridiculous. Exactly, that's why it's my favourite, man. It was my mum's favourite one as well. My mum was a huge fan of yours and she loved only an excuse as
That
well.
was the same.
And it was, anyway, Alex Ferguson was her favourite as well. And obviously Frank McAvenny. But it's something that's still going, like it's been going on for so long. I remember watching it when I was a wee guy and it was all about football to begin with, remember?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. We were asked. It's not. It wasn't our decision, but it was. We were. The BBC wanted to involve other aspects of like political life and general things that have been happening. So that's why it was opened out. But you're right. When it started out, it was solely football, and I was. The early days we had so much fun with it because there was nothing else really like it at the time. So. Yeah.
I always remember there was one, it was just a wee throwaway line in one of the episodes, right? And it was Gary Lineker, and he was talking about the Vauxhall, he was talking about Scottish football, and then it was just a throwaway line, he says, and now up a level to the Vanarama Conference or something like that. He's talking about the Scottish Premier League, and I pure buckled. I remember absolutely pissing myself at that as a kid, and just for then, it was like my love for it grew. It was just, on it, I'm pure fanboy in here, but I don't give a fuck. It was.
No, it's like pure tradition. Like I just have memories like being a wee boy, and like obviously if you're getting trailed to a Hogmanay party with your folks, you don't get to see it, but it was taped. And I always remember like watching it New Year's Day with your mum's hungover, your father sitting there watching it, and it just was it's still a New Year's tradition, isn't it?
It's an institution, man.
Institution.
Institution. Have you ever met anybody that you've done an impression of them, you've done them on the show and you've met them and they've no took very kindly to it at all?
Come on, you know this one, don't you?
Well, not really. Actually, I mean, if I have, they've kept it quiet. I'm sure there's been a few noises out of joint over the years, but the thing that I've always said about it is that when you consider how cruel a football dressing room can be with regards to humour. I mean, I think we actually give them a bit of an easy ride. So everybody's usually been fine about it. So
did Gordon McQueen know have a go at you?
No, it wasn't me, Chris. It was this is right back at the start. Tony did an impression of Gordon McQueen, which was less than flattering, and. All I'll say in my defence, I may not have gone down the same route to do the same job, but however, it was very funny, but it was not flattering at all, and I think he did take the hump about it, and but as I say, it wasn't me. I've always taken the view that and Philip goes along with this. Philip Differ, who created the programme and produces it. If you do a gag about somebody, if they were to walk in the room right after it, how would you feel? And if we felt really uncomfortable, we would probably drop it or try and reword it or something. But that's the sort of litmus test, So
aye.
I loved it, man, and I remember a wee bit of backlash towards him because he gave a bit of backlash towards you, and you never really seen him in the media after it. So he's ran him out of town.
Well, he was always okay with me because he was a number of years later. He was a guest on Offside, which was Tam Cowan's show, and he was in great form. You've been on it, Stephen. In fact, were you in the very last one?
I'm not sure. I can't really remember.
I think you might have been because he put a photograph. Tam put up a photograph on Instagram recently. It was a big cast and crew, and I think Paul and Natini in the night you were on. Does that ring a bell?
I think he might have been, aye.
Because I think he was in, but you're down at the front near me, and I think that was the sort of end of that series shoot. But you're on it, so.
I was a nerve with eyes that night, man. I was only young, man. As soon as I sit down, the first thing Tam says to me is, he asked me a couple of questions, and he goes, "Stephen, it's sorry you came out of character."
I remember that.
But Johnny, back to yourself, right? You've had like the likes of Alistair McGowan, Gerard Kelly, Chris Hoy, Hayes Worthing, they've all appeared in it. Is there any actor, apart from myself and Grado out there and Chris Toll, that you'd like to have had on? And is there any actors who've ever turned you down?
No, nobody's ever turned us down. No. We actually, the Greg Hempel, Lewis MacLeod were on it just after Tony left it. Alistair was on it for a few years. Gordon Kennedy was also guested as well.
The biggest hands in showbiz, man. Honestly.
What's that?
The biggest hands in Scottish showbiz, man. Big Gordon Kennedy. Man.
Like frying pans. The new Pat Jenner. He's a cracking guy, Gordon. Great laugh. He was great fun. So yeah. I can't find it.
But that's what I wanted to ask you on. Has there ever, Johnny, been a character that you'd say, I'm choking to do them, but I look absolutely nothing like them? Or is it always, let's just do it, let's try and get the characteristics, the voice out, and hope for the best?
If it's something that isn't going to work out, either by looks or voice, we just drop it. There's no point banging your head against the wall. We usually find a way of getting around it one way or another. We all pitch in ideas and stuff like that. But the one that we, in the early days, one that we couldn't get, and I think Tony was trying to get it, and I tried it, and that was Billy McNeil. Right. We knew what he sounded like, but we couldn't get a handle on it at all. Could hear the voice, couldn't get a handle on it. So that one went to, put to the side.
That's interesting. Do you know what? I've spoke to this. I've spoke to you about this before, Johnny. But what I used to always notice when I was younger, I'd go, "How did he get that club tie? How did he get that trackie? How did he get this?" Do you know what I mean? Because every year you always had the exact gear that the manager was wearing, the exact shape caps. And
I've got to say that both all the clubs, in particular Rangers and Celtic, have been very, very good at supplying. Bits and bobs that we've needed and we wouldn't be able to get in the shops. They've been good that way. My favourite story about that, though, is a number of years ago, not that long ago. I think it was with Neil Lennon's first spell as manager at Celtic. We were looking to do these sketches and we're having this production meeting, and the costume department said, "We can't get this, that Celtic tracksuit. We can't get it." It was a green tracksuit with white, gold, and black in the inside collar, but it wasn't in sale for the general public. So I said, "Well, look, leave it with me. I'll see what I can do." So I phoned Chick Young, and I said, "Listen, we're trying to go hold of this tracksuit. Do you think you could maybe ask if Lenny, if there's a chance of getting a hold of one?" And he said, "I'm doing the Celtic Inverness Caledonian game at the weekend. I'll give him a shout, right?" So he met him beforehand, doing the sort of pre-match interviews, and at the end of it he said, "Listen, wee Johnny was asking any chance of getting the tracky top. He's doing this sketch." And Lenny's like, "Oh, for fuck's sake, unbelievable." So he said, "That'll be fine, that'll be okay." So Big Terry Butcher was manager of Inverness at the time. If you remember, Inverness beat them, right? And the crowd were going nuts. And Lenny had a big argument, a big set to with some fans, and he was raging. And of course, that after match interviews, Big Terry's on first. He's like, "That one, full of beans and all that." Cut to Lenny, he's raging. And at the end of it, Chick said, "Lenny, me Johnny's tracksuit. What do we do?" But he ended up, he did, to be fair, I think John Clark went and got it. And he got it in a bag. I did the sketches and I gave it back to Chick. And I put a bottle of Blue Nun in it. So, yeah, he was. But all these guys are fine about it. They're great. So, yeah.
A bottle of Blue Nun.
That's brilliant.
So I'm going to shout out here. You're a Rangers supporter. What are you a Rangers supporter for?
Well, it's just the way just the way I was brought up. You know what I'm saying, Chris? Well, I am a Rangers fan, yeah. And are you from the other side of the divide?
Oh,
Yes, I'm from the east end of Glasgow.
Well, it's okay. It's fine. Many of my closest friends are.
I'm from the east end of Glasgow as well, mate.
But your team doesn't play in the east end of Glasgow. I'm from Coatbridge. My team plays in the east end of Glasgow. Give me a break.
My mum is from Coatbridge, so there you go.
Right.
My mum lived in Old Monkland. There you go.
So did my mum. My mum grew up in Old Monkland, aye.
Woodside Street, there you go. So.
Well, my dad had a pub on Woodside Street, the Woodside Bar. My dad had that for years.
Woodside Street comes up here every week, doesn't it?
Woodside Street. There you go, small world, eh?
It does feel that every week somebody brings up a street mob, and as you say, he'll go, aye, my dad had a pub in.
Aye.
No, it was Royston. It just so happens that my dad had a pub on Royston Road, and somebody mentioned Royston Road, and my dad had a pub in Woodside Street, and somebody mentioned Woodside Street. So
that's
just
weird,
give me a fucking break.
So, Mr. Watson, back to you. Okay, right. You're a Rangers supporter, so what led you to that, mate?
I'll tell you what, it wasn't his mom, she was from Woodside Street.
No. She was one of the few Protestants that lived there, so don't worry about that. It was just the way all my pals, and as a wee boy growing up, we all, everybody at school supported Rangers, and that was. And although my family weren't daft in football at all, if they were asked what team they support, it would be Rangers. So that's how it all kind of happened. I grew up supporting them, and I still follow them to this day.
And do you know, there's something I always bring up as well that you deny, right? But you were on the pitch when Rangers won a league. It was definitely you. I've seen this picture, and you always say it wasn't it, but it was you. It was either 6 in a row or 7 in a row. You're stunning with the players on the pitch.
It wasn't Chick Young, and you're just getting mixed up.
He was leading the singing, Chris. Well, it might be. I mean, I've got loads of photographs of being with the players and stuff like that, and I was looking at it the other day, but I might very well have been. I was very lucky around about the time when they were going for all the league championships in the sort of early 90s and stuff like that. I was lucky enough to be pally with a couple of the players, so I did used to go along to an awful lot of things, and with a lot of friends there, so I might very well have been. So there you go.
How do you think I'm going to do this season then?
I think if I'm going to be honest with you, I think it'll be very difficult for them. I think I don't think they've got a very settled side, and I think their main rivals do. I think I think if Celtic can keep hold of Edward, they've got real problems. And you're reading just now. I mean, I think Morello will be away. I'm not that bothered about that because I think if they can get somebody in, quite quickly, they can cover that. My thing about Morello is, I know he's got 30 goals a season, but he can't score against Celtic. And if you're a Rangers striker, you've got to be able to do that because you've got to win these big games to turn it around. You've got to win the Old Firm games, or the majority of them. And I think when you look back over the last 2-3 years, and you look at the money that the manager's been given and where we are now, I think if he was being honest, I think he would have hoped to have been more settled with a team. I think they're still looking. There was about 11 players brought in last year, and they're still looking for about half a dozen. And I think why? It's. I think they've got a real challenge in their hand. You never know. It might be that when they go back and they're playing in front of empty stadiums, it'll affect people differently.
I think it's good for us because there's no that pressure of the fans being on the back. I think it's going to benefit us.
You've got a wee bit more freedom, don't you?
Mm-hmm. The thing that it was, I think Gary Holt said the other day, teams going to the Old Firm, both Rangers and Celtic, if Rangers and Celtic are getting a bit of a hard time, their own home crowd won't be on top of them, so they won't start getting nervy after about 25 minutes.
Yep.
So it might, and we've seen what it's like down south. There's Leicester were flying before the break, and they rely on the King Power to be jumping and all that, and it obviously had an effect. And then I know they had a couple of injuries, but it'll be interesting to see how it pans out. I think we'll get an idea after about the first 3-4 weeks how things are going to pan out,
I said in the podcast last week, Johnny, I think Morelos has to go I think for us as a team, I think we need the amount of chances Rangers create. We can get a striker in that can convert the chances.
The thing is, Stephen, you look at last year, there was a game at Parkhead and the manager didn't play him. Not because he didn't want it, but because he didn't want to take a chance of him getting wound up and sent off. Mm-hmm. So, if you got if you've got an issue with the player's temperament to that extent, that's a problem. So I saw an interesting thing. Somebody put a thing up on Twitter, and I thought that's a name that hasn't sprung up. And somebody said, "What about going for Daniel Sturridge?" Mm-hmm. And that's a guy that Gerrard will know from Liverpool, who was a big player for them. Had a great partnership with Suarez. Unfortunate about injury, but maybe a challenge like coming to Rangers would be something that could just get things going again and kickstart his career. So
there's a fair bit of talk about that young boy Bayer played for Sunderland.
Did you watch Sunderland Till I Die?
Oh, the best, Johnny.
Aye, he was the guy that when everything was going great, he did the dirty on them and bailed out. He went to Bordeaux and they nosedived after that.
Oh, is that who that is?
That's who that is. Bordeaux, because they was banging them in, and then it went to a lot of the fans, and they were heartbroken. They were raging because it was always the talk: is he going to go? Is he no? Is he going to stay? And he just went, man. He just went.
Is that who that is? That's right.
Because you'll maybe remember better than me, Steve. Was that when Jack Ross had just taken over?
I think it was just before that.
It was Jack Ross that was the manager because he left with Jack Ross, and then, as Johnny's right, because then Jack Ross said to replace him, right, and if you're looking at Will Grigg, he didn't rate him, and then it showed you the chairman up all night on the phone and went, oh, fuck it, just pay the 4 or 5 million for him.
That's right. And then the chairman stitched Jack Ross up by going on all these fan phone-ins by saying, because Will Griggs couldn't ask for a banjo, and he goes, he's given it, he said he wanted Will Griggs and I delivered, and it's not my fault he's not playing. And meanwhile, Jack Ross saying, he's all right, but he's not that great,
I want to know, Johnny, how did Two Doors come to... How did Two Doors Down come about for you?
Two Doors Down started... A lot of people look back in the New Year special that was done. It wasn't a special. They called it a pilot. It wasn't. Mm-hmm. Two Doors Down was originally... It was just going to be a one-off. And it was all put together kind of last minute. Gregor and Simon had written the script a bit before. And I was it's always my belief that somebody or something, some programme fell apart just a couple of months before December, because I got a call to go down to London to meet Simon, the director and the producer, and got offered the job the next day. And very quickly, this cast were assembled, and we filmed for about 10 days on the trot in this tiny wee living room in a Paisley house, council house. And it was done real. It was all thrown together. You wouldn't believe it was just like that. And then when it went out, we really couldn't believe the response it got on social media. It went through the roof. And on that, they decided, you know what, we might have something here. We should maybe think about. The boys thought we should maybe think about trying to do a series out of this. So that's how it came about. So yeah.
I love your character in it, Colin. I mean, it's even for, as I always say to you as well, but your get up. See, you're wearing your Armani. Everybody knows somebody like you. That's somebody that's, I get my flights for Manchester to go abroad. Everybody kens somebody that's a wee show off for a fanny like that, and you play it perfect, man. You play it perfect. I love it. You're fantastic.
Well, it's you know yourself, being in it. It's a lot of it's down to the boys and the writing.
They're great, man.
They do a fantastic job. So,
I mean, I just sit there and I look and I see Alec Norton and I see Elaine C. Smith, Johnny Watson. I just sit there and go, how many hundreds of years experience is sitting?
Then Grado walks in.
Oh, listen, don't worry. He can look after himself.
I know. I've worked with him for years, but how do you find working with this big Egypt?
Oh, I love it. I love working with him. Yeah. We usually have a bit to do in the course of a series. It's the first time I met you, I think, was at the read through down in London. Was that right?
That's right.
And we knew that this part was being written, and I knew that a lot of people would be up for it because it's a cracking part. And then Graham walked in, sat down, started reading it, and right away you just thought, nailed it. So it's fine. Yeah.
I mean, I love it. So, you know, it's funny because see, Johnny on set, he's so professional. He's got his script all written out nicely, where it's written down, and you know,
it's a crib sheet. It's a crib sheet.
That's a crib sheet. There you go. But it's funny. Like, I'll go and do something else, and then I'll start doing that as if that's my thing. Do you know what I mean? As if like, I do that. That's my wee thing. I do.
That's probably.
I need to ask you, Johnny, as well about Alan Partridge. That was
all right.
That was a great episode. Have you seen this, boys? Johnny on Alan Partridge.
It's
hilarious. What an original idea as well for a program. It's just magic. And when you popped up, man, it was great. What was it you kept saying all the time? Was it?
It was something like that. Yeah.
Aye.
It was quite an experience. The Gibbons brothers who directed it are great. And when I arrived, they had a little bit to shoot in the just for about half an hour, a little introduction before I went on to set. But I arrived and got in the dressing room, and the sides were there, and it was about a 6-page scene, which I had to learn for it, and it was because there was a lot of overlaps. It was actually quite difficult, and I looked at the sides, and not the whole thing, the whole 6 pages had been rewritten. And not only that, they changed the character, right? And they changed the character from a dad who had a son in the military to a guy that was a social worker who'd spent time in prison. But they changed the entire script, and there was a chap in the door, and the two brothers walked in, and they said, look, really sorry, just we were rewriting this morning, and we just thought it was heading in a way that we thought would work better in the programme. And I said, well, no, you're right. I said, it's great stuff. And he said, come on in and meet Steve before we start. So went in onto the set, and of course Steve Green comes across as Alan Partridge, which was bizarre enough. And he went, hey, listen, delighted you're doing this. He said, sorry about the changes. And I said, no, don't worry about it. I think it's better than what was before. He went, so do I. He said, right. He said, we'll just take our time. And we just did it page by page, because there's no way we'd have a chance to sit down and learn it. Just to do it page by page, and we got through it within the time, and it was brilliant doing it. He was fantastic to work with.
Right, so Johnny, see, every week on Football Daft, we do a 90-second quiz. Right?
Oh, right.
How's your football knowledge these days?
Appalling.
Right. So listen, we've got a list of absolute legends of Scottish football here on this scoreboard. At the top of it, we've got Mark Wilson. He's got 14. Then we've got Kenny Duker just behind him with 13. Barry Ferguson and Owen Coyle are in joint third on 12. Other selected scores include Charlie Adam on 10, Jordan Young on 6, and Jim Leishman on 5.
Jordan who? That's showbiz.
That's showbiz.
But the strongest man in Scottish football is the Falkirk manager, David McCracken, because he's holding up the rest of the table with 1 point.
1 point.
Right, so have you got your eye on anybody in that list there that you want to beat? Jordan, I take it?
No. Listen, I'm sure I'll shame myself, but fire ahead.
Right, okay. So, who wants to? Stephen, I think you've got the questions.
Yeah. 90 seconds on the clock, John.
Correct.
We ready, Johnny? Here we go.
Go.
Which two teams play in Tyne Tees Derby?
Tyne Tees Derby is Newcastle and Middlesbrough.
Name one of the Scottish clubs to have
Nation.
City in their name. Stevie Crawford is the current manager of which team?
Oh God, I can see Stevie Crawford. Queen of the South.
In what year did Only an Excuse first appear on telly?
1992.
What two teams are in the FA Cup final?
Arsenal and Chelsea.
Bayview is the home to which football team?
East Fife.
Who is the assistant manager at Rangers?
Good question. Gary McAllister.
How many series of City Lights got made?
5.
What team
No,
are nicknamed?
6. 6.
What
5
team-
for Naked Video.
What team are nicknamed the Bully Wee?
Clyde FC.
From which club did Celtic sign Henrik Larsson?
Feyenoord.
Who are St Mirren's biggest rivals?
Time.
Oh, they done well there at the end there, by the way.
Done well, Johnny, done well.
I'll be just keeping up the end. What was the Stevie Crawford thing?
Stevie
Run,
Crawford.
boy, you got the answers there then.
Yep, we'll go through the wrong answers for you.
Alright, okay, go. Sorry,
Right,
John.
okay. Two teams that play in the Tyne Tees Derby is Sunderland and Newcastle, not Newcastle and Middlesbrough. Got Stevie Crawford's the manager of Dunfermline. Now this might be one of contention. We always have one of these in the quiz. What year did Only Excuse first appear on the telly? We've got written down here 1993.
No, I think it was 1982.
I think
We
he
can't
was
argue
better,
with it.
John.
It was probably Hugmanay. It's probably Hugmanay,
No,
1990.
I tell you why I say that, John, is because we actually, Philip and I were doing a programme with Craig Ferguson called 2000 Not Out. And was it 2000 Not Out? And yeah, that's what we did 2 with him. But anyway, we did a little Only an Excuse in that. And that was the very first time it appeared. I've got a funny feeling the first Hugmanay was 1982.
You know what? I'm going to give you that then.
Can't argue with Johnny Watson.
Can't argue with Johnny Watson. Can't argue with Johnny Watson. And that, but everything else you got right. We'll give you the City Lights one. You said 5, it was 6. You're right. So 8 points, Johnny.
Hey!
Oh,
8 points. That's good going, Johnny.
Is that me in with Jordan?
You beat Jordan.
You beat Jordan. He only gets 6.
You have a word with that, boy.
That was brilliant, Johnny. I really enjoyed that interview, boys. That was a great surprise.
But did you not know, Graham? Did the other boys know?
Aye,
Did you not know?
me and Stephen knew, but Grado didn't know.
I never knew, Johnny. I never knew. I was feeling it was going to be some wrestler that I couldn't be arsed with or whatever, but honestly, I'm delighted. I'm delighted.
Johnny, it's no different. Really, every week Grado comes on about half an hour late and doesn't know who we've got on anyway, so it's just the same as every week, really.
Johnny, thanks very much for coming on. You've been a great guest.
Oh, Chris, listen, nice to talk to you, and thanks very much for having me. I really enjoyed it, boys.
Right, thanks for listening, troops. Remember to sign up to the Patreon at patreon.com/Wrestling Daft. Football Daft, sorry, should I say. We mix up because we are Patreon there. But also remember to download the Fantasy Football Scotland app and join our league. And of course, remember you can watch the show on YouTube by typing in Football Daft. Remember to leave a review and subscribe us on Apple Podcasts and write something like this. Clarky, 5 stars. Class, listening as always. Funny guests and just fantastic. And it doesn't get any better than that, guys. It doesn't get any better than that.
It doesn't. It really doesn't.
It doesn't.
Hey, it doesn't.
Hey,
It doesn't get better.
man. Fucking Johnny Watson, man. That was class,
Sorry.
man.
Mate, I was heavy duty fanboying, man. That's it. That's the worst one since Murdo McLeod, I feel. I was like, oh, yeah, boy.
Aye, but with Murdo, mate, you're just like a rabbit headlights. You just kept sitting there.
Oh, what is it you say? A nerve with eyes?
Nerve with eyes, man. Talking to Johnny, man. Brilliant. Johnny. Cracking guy, but isn't he?
Aye. By the way, he looks like my Uncle Charles now. So he does. I kept on looking at him like that. You're the double of my Uncle Charles, man.
He is. He's got a cool wee look. They cool. He's into, and like he's letting his hair grow a wee bit. That kind of lockdown. It's I love all that. See when actors do that. It's brilliant.
Did you see Andy Walker on the telly the other day?
No.
Andy Walker's got a big fucking big long hair and all that now, man. You want to see him? Oh, still not got a fucking good word to say about Selleck, but the Cadger.
Yeah, that's so funny. Andy Walker, yeah, man, he's got big long hair and all that. Listen, have I told you that Andy Walker signed for the Buffs and he played one game?
Aye, we've heard it before, Greg.
We've heard it before, man. Right, boys and girls.
Do you know what I've never heard? Hold on, wait there. I've not heard fucking, what do you call it? Chris Toll talking about his Big Brother audition. What happened there?
Oh,
yeah.
What talk about today?
Lads, it's going on to 25 to 5. I need to go. I'll tell you it next week, right?
Right, tell us next week.
Careful next week.
So football this weekend, boys. Come on, Selleck.
On the Rangers.
Rangers.
I'm on the Falkirk. We're playing at
Come on, the Falkirk.
We'll play till October, Jesus Christ.
That's alright, John. You can come to my house and watch a team that you really support. Right, anyway. Listen, that just leaves us time to play out the show.
Aye.
Well, hit the music, John Boy.
I've been Chris Toll.
I've been Stephen Purden.
And I've been Grado, Buster in River City.
Audio Frontier.